G'day there, mugs. It's Friday, Saturday, you don't know what day it is, it's the hone in, but it's big this week up here in Queensland, boys and gals. So we've called in the Dockster, Toowoomba Cup, Wheatwood. This is your time to shine.
I'm absolutely stoked to be here. Hello everyone, hope you're enjoying it from wherever you're watching. Thanks boys for having me on, I'm super excited. I'm actually honoured to be sitting here with the team.
At the night's table.
Yeah. 4 times.
Much overdue, but thankfully your social life took a hit today with the public holiday, so you could join us for once. But you're a Toowoomba girl through and through. What's this weekend mean to the community up there, up the hill?
Well, it's a very big day, isn't it? Like, I don't know if you've ever been, but it's really exciting. The whole city just gets around it, and you know, I always blame the altitude when I go up there because just something happens. The alcohol just takes effect a little bit more, and the hangovers are pretty brutal. But no, it's exciting.
The heartstrings flow. What's Michael Nolan's pre-race party usually like?
Oh, look, you know, very focused.
True.
Very focused team.
Very true. Well, that's it. It's Wheatwood Day for you two boys, so quickly go through your form and find a winner because we will be touching on it. But it's Group 1 fever as well. Big weekend. Cats are in the GF, but we're not talking about footy. I'm just a bit cold out here. Moir Stakes Friday night. A few Queensland representatives, which you love. Saturday, we've got the Golden Rose. And then Sunday, good old Sunday, the Zaki Stakes. So you can't see under the table, thankfully, for Nick Lloyd because, you know what.
Excited.
You know what?
Looking forward to it. Yeah.
Well, what are the 3 you're most looking forward to? Group 1 was. Is there an answer?
No.
I reckon the Moors actually, like, normally it's pretty ordinary. It's been a pretty ordinary race, but I do like a sprint around the valley. It's a good field. This year's a really good field actually. Like, you've got like Everest nommed horses, Queensland Isotopes down there. Then you've got, you know, September Run, who God knows, Bella Nepentina's flying.
I think you're right.
I think it's the best race of the weekend. I know the Golden Rose is obviously the main event, but I think they've done a really good job, the race club there, to get the horses there.
Well, I even still think now that the strength of both those Valley Group 1s are going to just get better because there's a clear line in the sand now between like Everest horses and that calibre to go, well, that's out of our depth. There's 2 Group 1s in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Let's have a crack. Hence why you got
and it's not like they're
Rothfire, Isotope down there.
It's not like they're not quality either. Like, Extremely Lucky was like killing it in Adelaide. It's flying as well. I think it's in the race too. Like, it's a super field. I think it's the best race of the weekend.
I think the
Full factor.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit biased towards Zaki, obviously, but I thought.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know.
Have you noticed that in the first 2 minutes of being in your live gaps?
But I did think that the Underwood was like it's a red hot field really. Like, you've got, you'll know a lot about the Cox Plate, sort of how it's going to be if say Zaki gets beaten and something pops up that's a little bit left field there, like a non-conformist beats them all.
Yeah.
Animo probably quickly into $2.20 and
well,
Plate, like
Animo's all good apparently.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
it's a shame.
That's
It's a kick in the
I
teeth.
think we've heard this every year with some horse, and you know what happens next, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, look, Mugs, we're going to preview all the Group 1s, and Gabs demanded that we do touch on Toowoomba, so we'll get there first. But Friday night, Moonee Valley, race 7 for those playing at home. Palele, your $4 favourite. J-Mac comes down to ride. Rothfire, Zoo Style, next in the market. Well, that's a Quinella there from the McEwen. Gabs, why don't you start us off with a bang? How's this Moir Stakes going to pan?
I'm excited for it, but I'm not sure. Like, I think Palele, I think he's obviously the class runner here, and $4.20 is fair, but I really liked Rothfire's win the other day. We've got the Inferno, who obviously ran home really well last start there, and he's going to sit off them. Coolangatta, bottom weight again. You know, we're probably going to see an improved show from her, but I mean, September Run's returning as well. Like, I'm probably, like, if I'm having a bet, I'm probably going to stick with Rothfire, just as I think his win the other day was really good, and I think he's going to sit in a similar position and be able to pounce. But yeah, it'll be a good one.
Agree. I just think Rothie gets the exact same run. You know?
Yeah.
Beginner's luck, stick with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What if Nature Strip was here? What sort of margin would he be putting on this field?
How long's a piece of string, mate?
I wonder how we get around to that one.
He's won there. I think he's won this race.
It was the only track he used to win at as a bad boy, the 1,000-metre Moonee Valley track.
No, I just thought Palele finished 4.5 behind him and Eduardo in a TJ Smith. I thought that was probably the right form for a 1,000-metre race. He's 1 from 1, Palele, at the Moonee Valley 1,000. That was on debut.
So what distance does Palele win this field then?
Oh, I think he's a fair bit better than him, to be honest. So
He then got 6 lengths for Nature Strip to win. So there you go.
Good. Queensland form, second in the 10,000, second in the Kingston Smith Cup. What more do you want, really? Trialled like a bomb. James McDonald goes down there, and there's probably not many more informed trainers than James Cummings at the moment.
I'm with Isotope, one of the other Queenslanders. They tried talking me out of it earlier. I'm pretty sure 1,000 metres, but I'm pretty keen, to be honest. I think barrier 6. I know 1,000 metres is short of her best. First up was okay, behind a few pretty smart ones. I think Passive Aggressive, Kiss on All Four Cheeks. I think Chain of Lightning won that, so there's probably a slight query with that form line, but I've just binned that whole meeting last week at Caulfield because that was complete garbage. So I'm happy to get past that. I think from the barrier, John McNeil won, she cans behind the leaders. Turner fourth in the over 1,400, yes. But 4th behind, Alligator Blood, Rothby, there's a bit of a... I can tie the form in there. So, I'm happy with her. She's, $17 and $4. I reckon she's the best value in the race. So I'm with Isotope.
Yeah.
On top.
Hey, stick with your guns, mate.
I don't reckon I've ever tipped her before either. I think maybe once or twice. I've never been I'm not a fan, but I've never had her as the bet. But I'm pretty keen at the price. Yeah, she's a bet.
Yeah, I thought she'd be too short for her, but Manicato... I don't know whether this is a bit of a plan B correct though, is it? Because she was scratched from Caulfield last week. Yep. I don't think the Moor was ever on the radar. Manicato might have been always the final goal, so seems sort of works better though this way.
Test around the valley and then unleash. Yeah.
And if not, go
where's the rail on Friday? Back in the True. So it could just be a fire lane if you get there.
Well, it's absolutely...
well, not early on anyway.
Gab's pointed out, but it's just need for speed. Really?
And I don't want to forget about Malkovich either, on his day. I think he's really good horse.
Could almost, could be one of those setups where they just let him go and
forget
to chase him down.
Yeah, there's often a few of those that valley on a Friday night.
He usually takes a run. He's usually really flat first up and then jumps out of the ground second up. So
he didn't run too poorly, the 5th behind Eduardo.
We better move on because we'll convince all ourselves to back Malkovich. That's usually what happens on this show, guys. We make a case for 5 of them, put them all in a trifecta and miss by 5.
Yeah.
We'll go a little bit north. So we've dominated Friday night.
Yep.
We're bypassing the GF because we're going to the Golden Rose first. Not sure what time it's on, but a bit of a clash there.
4:05.
Yeah, well, it'll be last quarter. Geelong are up by 60, so good. You can step outside and watch it. It's an absolute Godolphin swamp here, and it may be a swamp at Rosehill. In secret, $2.50 favourite. Golden Mile, your second. Best of Bordeaux scratched, which is good because it's an absolute cat anyway that wouldn't have won, but it just makes the picture a little bit more clearer. Lloydie, a horse like Jacquino, big hype Blue Diamond last year, didn't run a bad race. Let me put that out there. Wins first up. Is that the form coming up to Sydney?
Maybe if it starts on Friday night. I give it none.
What hot?
I give it absolutely none. First trial the Sydney way, I thought it was average. And if it's wet, put a pen through it. I got one on a soft last up.
You've already put a sword through it. Forget the pen.
Yeah, right. It can't win. The Godolphin two are the only two I thought. Golden Mile and In Secret. I thought their panel's better. I'm with the Colt because I think if it's wet, he's the one that's better of the two. Golden Mile. Just jumped out of the ground this prep. His 2 trials. I think I sent a message to you guys. I took the 51s first up. So it ran second, of course, and didn't have a penny each way. But that was behind Kibu, and he's probably, if Kibu wasn't injured and out for the spring, he'd be probably favourite in this, I would have thought, off his first up win in the up and coming. This horse just put them to the sword in the Ming Dynasty last start. He'll be the one to beat for mine.
Yeah, I'm with the former. I'm with In Secret. I think J-Mac factor is the key here. He's just a better rider, and he actually on his day it adds 2 lengths. I think in general, you watch some of those rides recently, at some of the less metro tracks, he's just that much better. No disrespect to Sam Clipperton, who's riding better this year, than he has in past, and obviously gets the ride on Golden Mile. But in secret, will be winning on the weekend, I think.
Okay, favourite. Okay,
Yep.
that's different for you.
Well found.
Well, there's like no,
Yeah,
you go through the formula. Like I just don't think anything else can win it. Like
Well,
if I gave anything else, I hope I'd tip it. But
the
I
thing
don't
I'll
give
make
it a
a
chance.
case for, and I shouldn't really need to. It's a 2-time Group 1 winner on a heavy track in Sydney. It's Fireburn. It's that simple, really, isn't it? Gabs, you want to back me up here?
Yeah, like I watched a race last start, and she didn't really get going to like, or she didn't really have too much of an aggressive ride, shall I say? And I thought, yeah, that'll set her up nicely for this. The extra 200 meters, like barrier 16. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Like she can go back, cruise wherever she likes.
All the good runs have been from that position. So
If it is heavy, well, great. You know,
$8 a gift.
I think
It
each
should be
way.
$8 a place.
You are on fire, mate. You're on fire.
I'm not sure about $8 a place, but I don't. Yeah, I
You
don't.
know what?
I'll give
Just
you $8
go
a place.
follow at Woods End again, alright?
Yeah.
That seems to be the only horse that runs for you.
Jackie dropped the whip.
Yeah, no, Gabs, I'm with you. I think
Yeah.
Fireburn's a real good price. Thank you
I'm
very
happy
much.
with you.
Well, look,
Might not
Muzz.
ever win another race.
Hey?
Might not ever win another race, Firebird.
Okay.
Well, because it might win this race and go to start.
no problem.
Anyway, if you think you do a better job, be sure to enter our competition, tipping comp.
Typical.
Yep. Cash up for grabs, mum. So
Free
I've
money.
got to put this out. Well, it is, yeah, if you win. don't tip Fireburn, obviously, after Lloydie's bloody spray. But, yeah, jump in, Mugs. Pretty much all the races that we're tipping here are up for grabs, so be our guest. Alright, let's bring the ship back on course and up the hill, Toowoomba. Gabs, it's Saturday, it's 4 o'clock. You've had 55 rum and cokes, bourbon and cokes. I think that's all you drink up there at Toowoomba, or the T-bar as you call it. The bell rings, Toowoomba Cup is in town. The who's who is there.
Yes,
What happens next? Paint the picture for us.
Oh, look, well, I think, they used to have a big giant blow up 4X thing, the 4X can, actually, in the middle of the track.
Oh,
And
we're missing out by never going to one that sounds like that next year.
It's a great time, to be honest. But yeah, no, it'll be a good day. Toowoomba Cup. Look, I thought the field, to me, was just like a Brizzy Saturday.
Yeah, bit average.
I thought, there's no different to me looking at the
It's a listed race, isn't it?
2,000 metres in Brisbane.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it's a listed, yeah. But, yeah, I think, Bartholomew Diaz, I think he's the class runner in this race. However, Toowoomba can be a bit funny. You can have the best horse in the race, but they don't actually handle the track and tempo, and they don't win. So
We know.
I think for me in that race, I'm going to stick with Seat of Power. He's been so consistent this preparation, and he's coming off a really nice win at Doomben last start. My biggest thing here is he's raced here before, so I think he benefits in that regard. As I said, no knock on Bartholomew Diaz. I do think he is the class runner, but yeah, I just went for the horse that is raced there in Seat of Power.
Righto. Boys, anything to add?
Yeah, I think you can count the coin.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Kevin Kemp, home track, 11 starts there, 3 wins, 4 placings.
Second of Blacklog last start.
Second of Blacklog,
Wow.
that's
Well,
pretty
it's a
handy
full
for
line
you.
of Apollo.
I don't know if it is, but third to Swanston, who just won at Lismore, so that might be the form. But I just think this guy, I think he's just been set for this race really, because he's had a lot of, he's had 4 or 5 1600 metre runs, then he went to the 2000 last start, and it was probably the best run of the lot, I thought, when he was second to Blacklog. He just kept hitting the line. He's got to carry 52.5 kilos. Like I said, home deck. If it's dry, is it going to be wet or is it going to be dry? I don't know. Don't think it'll matter.
Soft
Track,
five.
mate.
Yeah,
Between.
I think $14. I think that's not a bad bet, but Aussie Nuggets in the race too.
Yeah, I'm with the Nugget.
But it won last start when I did stick and you didn't get on. So.
You jump off,
You
and that's the best gear change I can ever give a horse is you jumping off. I'm with Aussie Nugget. I think, I know you stuck last time and it won, but I think that was just a bonus win. I think, it was dead set for this. I think 4th up, Peak Fitness, Thompson Sticks, did draw a gate? 11. That's
Drew
alright.
one
Yeah,
of the gates.
it's going to be thereabouts anyway. It'll be back. Yeah, that's handy too. midfield. I think
Yeah.
it's all about handling the track. Like
Is Toowoomba
because some can sit off them and then run round them. Because like that was what happened.
You can have
That was what happened
you can have
last
the
year. I
best
think
horse,
for the
no
Wheatwood
comes
last year
with
they
it.
ran. It looked like they were
I
fanning
didn't
around
watch
the
last
bend, and there
year's
was
play.
like they came around the bend. There was about 10 wide round the corner.
Patchy Chase won it last year, didn't it?
Wheatwood, not
Yeah.
Toowoomba Cup, mate.
Oh, sorry.
No, but same
Stardo.
as but it's
Stardo?
yeah,
That,
something
those
like that.
colours.
Came down the whatever it was. It came down the outside. I know that, so
And
it
there's
did
a,
run on.
there's a
So
bit
it's
of hill up
just
there that some
Yeah.
just don't.
Elwood won it 2 years ago.
Elwood, well,
I
speak,
just-
mate,
yeah.
tell you what, well, there's two things about Toowoomba. Lloyd jumping off.
Yeah.
And Chris Waller's Cup, really. You got it? You got the horse, mate?
Yeah, I've got
You got the
it.
horse?
I think I know.
You got the horse?
No, no. Oh, yeah, the one.
I want you to say it.
off. Welsh legend.
Welsh legend.
Yeah, the
Mate.
best of the day last night, and she
Best of the day, you jumped off, Mozzie jumping on. A couple of getting $12. Last two runs over 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
Finished within 2 lengths of Born a King, Skyman, and Dr. Drill in Sydney. Comes into Toowoomba to beat up the other Chris Waller 2200 metre specialists. 52 kilos. Pretty much Sam Collett has 1900 metres to just sit on the horse to just pull away at the last 100. I can't believe this price, and none of you have seen it.
She was. I thought she
too
was
bad.
playing last start though, wasn't she? Was it just the
It was
mile?
a mile, mate.
Mile at doing
Mile.
pen job.
Yeah, pen job. Pen job.
Yeah, I thought she was a bit
Pen
ordinary,
job.
but anyway.
Grade 15.
Pen job.
Preparation for the 2000
I don't know.
metre.
I don't know.
That's right. If you had done your form properly, you know she's ready for 2000.
I've said it for this whole
They have. Since she was a foal, really. Toowoomba Cup dreams, mate.
Shut up.
Probably an Irish import, who knows. Alright, move on to the next race, because it's we're sprint specialists. We don't do long
Yeah.
distance in anything. So, Wheatwood Handicap, you're right, Patchy Chase, last year's winner, which God, would have been an absolute $10 job here, surely.
Mm.
So, I think he's going to Sydney, isn't he? They're trying to get a slot.
Yeah, they were
Patchy
talking about
Chase.
that.
So,
Yeah.
we'll see. Well, he'd have to be pretty close to resuming
He had a jump out on Tuesday, so you'd think so.
next week,
Yeah,
you'd think.
probably.
Anyway, well, he's not here. Flying Crazy's here, $5 favourite. Garano Boldy and Mass Destruction. They're your two golden reps. Fun fact, Mr. TJ, the boss man of the show,
He's never won this.
he's never won this.
Was
Ben.
Toowoomba originally his home
Yeah.
track?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Grew up, born and raised, mate.
Yeah.
Born and raised. God, you think you would know something about your
Yeah.
boss, Lloydie.
Yeah.
Bean, is this his year? Garibaldi, mate, one of your favourites.
I hate that horse. Honestly, I do.
Nick Lloyd, Garibaldi, one of your favourites.
No, but I've got a funny
Gabby,
story about
Garibaldi, one of your favourites.
Look, I don't mind the horse, to be honest.
Alright, no one's on Garibaldi. Bean, who wins the Wheatwood?
Mate, you're gonna kill me. I'm sticking with Bandypur.
Oh, for God's sake. Mate, we've already made enough content with Bandypur.
No, I'm not giving up. No, mate, Jimmy Allman's on board. That's a genuine push. 2 kilos off last start. I don't think it was as bad as what it looked. I think it was in the worst part of the track, back on the inside. I'm happy to give it one more chance because this is a race, and I know this is terrible form, but this is a race. It's almost always a blowout.
It won this race, didn't it, a few years
Yeah,
back?
it's almost
Oh,
never a
oh.
favourite here. So steer clear of the top 3 in the mud because I guarantee this is a drifter's race for sure. And I'm not jumping off Bandypur because if it wins on Saturday, I'll
Well,
cut my
mates,
leg off.
you might get the ultimate push. Are you on?
No.
He's off.
Oh, there you go.
He's
See,
off.
now I'm on.
He's off.
Here we go.
Right.
Jimmy Allman on, Nick
Wow.
Lloyd off, Elliot
Wow.
Sticks wins. $27.
Oh,
Thank
back
you.
now.
I've got an interesting little story very quickly about Garibaldi, and if you're listening and it's you, sing out to the mugs. But on Tuesday the 13th of September at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I've got a text message from a random number that I don't have saved in the phone, and it is a photo. It's the winner's photo of Garibaldi at the gold mine, and I'm like, okay. And then the next message is just like 3 names, Brisbane Boys Club. And I don't know any of the names, so if you've sent me this number on purpose,
Well,
or it's just random that for somehow you sent it to someone who knew who the horse was, sing out. But
Yeah, is it a tip for the
Yeah,
Wheatwood?
yeah,
This mystery
like-
Is this a
person?
sign?
yeah,
Where does this go?
I don't know. Like I've been tormented enough by Garibaldi to not have it pop up in my DMs. In saying that, I'm going to do the opposite of what Bean said. And when he said avoid the top of the market, flying crazy, nearly $5. That is crazy because this horse. Like, it's just panels better than him on its day, isn't it? It came up here to Queensland, won a Daybreak Lover, then went back to Sky and won Alaskan Star. beaten in the Fred Best, but that race like rated through the roof with Volana, Kiss Some. That Lock Eagle came out and bolted in.
Mystic Aroma.
Mystic Aroma was in it as well. Yeah. Then fourth to Kiss Some, Battleton in a gun sinned. Trialled good. He got beat a long way, but that was because our president won by 12
Like
lengths.
400,
Yeah.
and then clearly showed next up.
Yeah. Ridden.
I got second.
Did you?
Really?
Wow.
I don't know why.
Yep, I'm not
Anyway.
sure. But Barry 4, Brad Stewart on board. Jeez. Bet.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow Bean and stay away from the favourites, and
Yep.
the boys
Right.
back, Emerald Kingdom. Let me just make some dot points here. Second up. Wow. Remember second up last prep? Rockhampton. The
Lucky
Archer.
fall.
Hello. You know, his second up record, 6 starts, 5 wins and a second. That's
Jeez.
doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
He's $18 here. I would have liked to see him have the 2 trials. I love following his form lines of being 2 trials, puts in an average one, then comes out and wins. But he's put in, well, I shouldn't say average, but it's the same sort of thing he always does.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping he I can just see him coming down the Toowoomba Straight, just getting.
How much
getting to
speed's
the
that?
front.
There's a few.
Famous
There's a few
Toowoomba
that take it on.
Yeah.
The
At
famous
$18,
$150 metre
that's
Toowoomba
probably
Straight.
that's probably the main part is $18. So even if you want to back him to run a place, you still get $5.50, which is even more than Flying Crazy's win, $4.60.
Smart, really? Yeah, second up
That's not
form.
as fun as watching a horse win, is it?
Mate,
Like
I'm with
balance
the
going
I'm with
on.
the Archer winner as well. Emerald Kingdom.
Are you two just like got the same notes over there?
I
Have
reckon
you tipped
we
a
do,
different
eh?
horse? Have you tipped a different horse
I
yet?
thought you tipped one before.
I thought you were on Bandy Per then.
Oh,
What are you on? No.
No.
No, I just said,
Oh,
I
sorry.
just said outside the favourite. I
yeah,
think is the
yeah,
way to
right.
play this race.
Yeah.
You're paying attention. Though. It's good to see.
Just done before. But the prep before gap, second up, wins the Group 3 BRC Sprint. What's the Flying Crazy one?
I just
a
said
listed
two
race,
listed
mate.
races.
Oh,
So
listed
get it going
races. Do you
again.
know how the ranking works, mate?
Can you tell us what his mum's done?
You all need to shut up, alright?
Forever
None of
crazy.
them have. None of them. None of them
yeah,
won
you
an
can run a
eye.
huge race.
None of them have won an eyeliner.
That's true.
The mum won 6 races of Flying Crazy. actually.
Let's move on quick.
Gabby asked.
Well, I was going to say we're moving on, but we're getting to the Underwood Stakes, and yeah, you know what's going to happen here. You got it's Sunday, Mark. So fingers crossed you have an absolute fill up Friday, Saturday, and then you can follow us in here on Sunday because it might be much the same selection wise. $2.40 for Zaki, your favourite. On Thunderstruck, $3.40, $4.40 Mr. Brightside. List goes on. It's pretty much a Cox Plate field, isn't it? So you're right. Add the 200 metres on. Go to the valley. That's what you've got. Sandown's that big open straight as well. So I think every horse is going to have its chance. Zaki to lead, Lloydie.
Oh, Alligator Blood will lead, but I think
Alligator Blood
Do
to
you
lead.
think?
yeah, for sure. Tim Clark's down to ride from barrier 2. It'll lead.
Yeah.
Zaki will be outside it. Put the pressure on at the 600. Get rolling and catch them all off the bit. See you later. Put 4 on them. Come in at $3. Win the Cox Plate and blow them away on the 22nd of October.
Okay.
All right. Okay, he's done.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I'm with Zach. It keeps drifting. What's going on? Is there like?
because
Is that a glitch in the system?
we got on it with our Bet with Mates bet. That's
But it
what's happened.
keeps coming out. Those 250 now. That seems odd. I actually think I'm with Zaki. That would be my tip for the race. But non-conformist 1800 building to a Caulfield
This
Cup.
thing,
Wow.
don't you?
Yeah.
I do. I think it's a pretty good chance. I think it's a pretty good. I just think as a blowout. Like don't get me wrong. I'm Thunderstruck, Mr. Brightside, Alligator Blood, all in the mark. But I think like non-conformist out to that 1800 meter trip. That's
One
its
to
go.
watch,
It
yeah.
needs
Yeah.
further. I think if there's going to be a complete blowout here and Zaki doesn't win, that'll be the horse that does it. That's just how this is going to play.
Nah,
But otherwise, Zaki's going to win.
I spoke to Graham Begg about non-conformist before his first up run, and he pretty much said, we expect him to sort of run well here. I think it was the Memsey, and then he went to the Maccabi Diva, but he said, don't really be expecting anything until he gets to the Underwood third up at the 1800. He said that's sort of the race before the Caulfield Cup.
Stop spruiking horses we're not on, because you know what happens.
Yeah, I was going to take $15 betting then for the Underwood at 67.
I'm with Zaki too, and I just think it's on how this race pans. I reckon he leads, and he just leads for fun, and it's just going to be a sit and sprint, and he's just going to be too far in front. So
I'm happy with that.
yeah, I know you won't mind that, but yeah, I think Alligator Blood takes a sit, or they want they want him to take
I
us.
suppose at 1800 they
He's,
probably
yeah, he's never been.
they're not going to get the control.
It's
like
his
they
first
did.
time
First
beyond the
time
mile,
over,
isn't it? Yeah.
And I just thought with him, I obviously in my heart am always going to be with him, but I think here, yeah, I think that Zaki might get the lead. And just after I'm Thunderstruck wore him down the other day, I thought the extra 200, obviously a bit of a risk, but didn't want to leave Mr. Brightside out either. Just after watching the replay of his last run, you know, he's 450 here. I thought he was going to be a little bit
Well, this
like
is
more
his
of a price.
first sort of test.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's the three, like the dangers to Zaki really, like or even like everything other than Zaki and non-conformists are really not
We're
proven
not
it.
carrying 59 kilos.
Yeah, but like in terms of the trip, like
Yeah.
on Thunderstruck has to be a query at the 1800. Alligator Blood definitely is. Mr. Brightside's never been
Definitely
beyond
is.
it. Moanga was beaten panels by Zaki in the McKinnon last spring. Non-conformist obviously second in the Caulfield Cup. So
yeah.
yeah,
I think
240s.
Zaki's like just his record over the trip and everything. And
Yeah,
it
he
What's
won
on
this
the surface?
race,
Is
won
it
this race
soft?
last year.
Yeah, soft 6 at the moment.
Excellent.
Any rain on the weekend?
Well, it's not till Sunday too, so it's probably too far to tell yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can have a
But
look.
we're finishing in unison, which is an
Yeah.
absolute perfect send-off.
Good.
So we can pump the tyres next week for jagging the $2.50 favourite on a Sunday.
Beauty.
Fantastic. Well then, monks, that's the hone in. You're watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify. Stay tuned because coming up's a bit of the spring features that we're putting together too. So just get excited.
Bring it on. Bring it on.